young bands, dance acts, artists. Some of the youngsters then who've taken part, tried things for the first time to be part of this festival as well. But then it came to communicating that idea. So it's one thing thinking, right, so we have this festival where you can try things out, that's all well and good. But if you're talking to a young audience, again, full-page ad in the Ilfracombe Gazette isn't going to be seen by anyone. So we figured 30-foot yellow inflatable duck put down by the harbour side to inform the residents this would happen. This would gain more attention from a lot of people. So we figured that, as we've said in the critique, if there's one thing that teenagers do well, is talk. Whether it's chatting on the phone, Facebook, or in person, youngsters spread messages like wildfire. We'd like to use that to our advantage by creating a talking point in the middle of town. Using the saltwater pool next to the harbour, we'd float a giant yellow inflatable duck with the festival logo emblazoned on the side. So this was about using unconventional forms of communication. Going back to the beginning again, like I said, it's not about how much you can create now. It's almost about the originality of the ideas you come up with, the breadth of your ideas. So it's just finding what's right for your target audience. And as I go through some of these different things, another piece of the advertising we were going to do, we've actually used this before, it's what we call the festival pub. We proposed that we take over a shopping centre, fill it full of information, have people hanging out in there, perhaps make it into a coffee bar, allow you to do different things in there, even charge your mobile phone or whatever. The similar thing we've done for Bangor University, who were developing something they're calling Pontio. And when we designed the graphics for that, we actually took over a shop space in Bangor for a week, designed all the interior so members of the public could find out actually what the university was up to and gain all the information. So this was another sort of communications method that we were going to use in order to inform the local community as well. So like I say, quite far removed again from your TV ad, your radio ad, or your piece of print. Another method of communication we proposed was something called clean graffiti. So a legal version of the art form as well that could be placed around the city. And again, that this sort of medium is far more appropriate for our target audience rather than, you know, some of the more traditional methods as well. So a combination of all those things to build up sort of a buzz around the event, and then, you know, some of the other methods, seizing it on blogs and forums, youth websites, doing a viral, and also social networking. Again, you know, Facebook got good points and bad points. It's great to react to things that are immediate, and it's great to get people talking to people as well. So that's why it's become very much more a marketing tool than a social networking tool. Not sure whether that's a good thing. We'll see where that leads to, but there are some benefits to using it like that. So that was basically something we've done for a pitch, just for a local authority who you'd think would have no appetite for doing really creative things. You'd think going to that approach is very safe, very conservative. They awarded us the business, and we're at the moment working on a broadband project with them. We've already done 2 other projects with them. So again, it's, you know, creativity does pay, and being bold does pay, and taking some risks does pay. It's you know, always think about your audience, think about the quality of your ideas, and if the idea feels a bit safe and disappointing, chances are whoever you're shown to will feel the same as well. Now, this isn't an idea of our agency, but it was one that I thought was quite interesting, and this was done in Spain, diesel, and again it's about understanding your target audience. I've got a daughter who often goes to town with her mates, and she reliably informs me that a lot of young people go into shops and try clothes on just for the heck of it, sometimes without even the intention of buying it. They'll just try things on that are a bit kooky, they're a bit weird, something that they might find funny, or actually stuff they do want to buy. But all this sort of fits in with the shopping habits of young people. So Diesel, in a number of concession stores in Spain, put in this camera. And so when you went into the changing room, you'd log on to your Facebook account. And then whatever clothes you're trying on, you take a picture and you choose whether, your jeans or your top or wherever you wanted to shoot. You take a shot of that. Then you'd edit and publish it, so you can crop the picture, add a comment to it, send it straight to your Facebook page. And as well as appearing on your Facebook page, it would appear on a campaign Facebook page as well, for the people who've done the same. So Diesel utilised an understanding the way that young people behave as well to communicate that they understand their audience and they're sort of part of their culture as well, in quite a neat device, again, that wasn't a traditional advertising format. It was something quite different. This is slightly off the beaten track as well, because I know I've talked about a lot of these things as being pictures and stuff. And you're thinking, that's all well and good if my client's Diesel, or that's all well and good if I work for a particular agency. The only reason I put this in is that I quite intrigued me. This is a guy called Oliver Beale, who now works for Wyman Kennedy in London. Wondered how he could raise his profile not only to his employees but potential employers over the world. Being a copywriter, he took a flight on Virgin Atlantic, and he wrote a letter to Richard Branson after it, telling him how shit the whole experience was, how uncomfortable the seats was, how bad the food was. For some reason, this was picked up by news media across the globe. So this was reported, as well as in the scum, as I like to call it, in our country. It was also reported, across the States, in Australia, in all the news networks. It was on loads of websites. You can Google it yourself, just Google Oliver Beale. So here's a guy who's, a copywriter, and he's created this buzz around him now, which is probably still following him today. Even so much as that, like, breakfast television got him on there to interview him and ask him about the lecture and all that. So there's almost a personal piece of publicity that he's created just because he wrote a letter to Richard Branson. I'm not saying you all write to Richard Branson now, but all I'm saying is sometimes, a bit of creativity and seizing the opportunity is a bad thing as well. So there's always things that you could be doing, like complaining to Mr. Branson or whatever, to raise your profile or to take you somewhere closer to where you want to be. Obviously, his employers are going to look favourable on this. He's in the communications industry, he's a copywriter, he's managed to get on every piece of news across the globe because of something he's written. I can't think of a better accolade for someone who wants to go places. Then the last idea, again, not one of ours. I really like this idea because this utilises a lot of technology, but you don't see the technology at work. This was by Wyman Kennedy in Portland. They invented this thing on there. They called it a chalkbot. And I don't know how much you guys know about the Tour de France, but it's traditional. Wherever the race goes, everyone paints, writes on the road, messages, etc. So Wyman Kennedy were working for Nike, and this was going to kick off. They wanted to create a bit of a buzz around it. This machine basically would receive text messages from anyone who wanted to text it and write the message on the road using all these pieces of chalk underneath. So it was a way that any one of us sitting here could get involved with the Tour de France and actually write a message that would appear on the road. Whether you saw it or not was another thing. But again, it got a great deal of publicity, and it was a great idea that sort of fits the brand so well as being something progressive, as something that's very integral to the sport. It seems that, the things that they do sort of gets in at the grassroots. So this idea, again, you can see sort of very personal messages that people sent to ones sort of focused on the race as well. You can see that it was driven around all the stages before the race began the day before. You can see it at work there in the bottom right-hand corner. shorten up all the messages on the road that anyone could text it from anywhere around the world. So a very smart piece of communication. So I'm going to conclude what I've done now, but all I'd like to leave you with is the thought that it's great having all this technology. I think it's a wonderful thing, and I've got to say, communications industry, it's a very exciting time to be in them. But the basis of it, the first place you've got to begin, you've always got to have a really good idea, and then I think we'll do well. I'll leave it at that. Thanks, guys.